We talk about the criminal injustice system. Talk about how the United States, out of all the world's prisoners, all the prisoners in the world, a quarter of them are in the United States. And we don't have anywhere close to the quarter of the population. We talk about how your constitutional right, they don't exist, right? 67% of the people in jail right now are unconvicted. So I provoked a lot of people on my side, on the Republican side at least, during the campaign. When John Fetterman said that I think half the people should get out of jail. I said, I agree with that. And they were like, what are you talking about? And it's like 67% of the people in jail right now are not convicted, right? And we're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, right? And so they're like, oh, wait, yeah. So, you know, obviously some people, and this is the big game here, where they will let all these people that, you know, you've robbed like 20 people, you've raped like 20 people, you know, you have this like rap sheet, you know, 100 pages long, and they're just going to let you out on the street. And then they're going to make everybody think, oh, we have to crack down more on, we have to be more draconian. We have to do this. And that's what I explained to some of these lefties I talked to, is like, dude, George Soros, his aim is not getting people out of prison. His aim is manufacturing the consent to have a massive wave of people going back to prison, because he makes a lot of money in the bond markets off of the bonds created when those people go to prison, right? So he pretends to be your friend, but he's actually doing exactly the opposite. And it's not that hard, right? It's not that hard to say, like, I went to prison over a YouTube video, right? And I had all my rights violated. It's not that hard to say, okay, this person that's never had a criminal record, that didn't do anything violent, that made a YouTube video that we're doing this ticky-tacky stuff on, that's not a threat. Versus this person that raped, you know, 10 women, robbed 6 people, right? It should not be that difficult to say who's a threat and who's not, especially with some of the high-profile examples we've been seeing lately, is people that clearly are off their rocker and clearly just commit violent crimes nonstop, they get let out. And then that kind of poisons the well and makes the rest of us limited government minded sort of folks think like, oh, we should just lock everyone up. It's like, no, dude, we should call balls and strikes, and we should have constitutional rights. One of the very important updates that we need to make to our Constitution is we need to specify explicitly innocent until proven guilty. A lot of people don't know, because they teach us this in school as if that is in the Constitution. That's not, nowhere in the Constitution does it say innocent until proven guilty. Absolutely nowhere. And they act accordingly, right? Stuff like your right to a speedy trial. You're supposed to have 70 days from the time they indict you to the time you get a trial if you don't waive that right. And for my case, and for all kinds of other people's cases, they just drag that out for years on end. So you end up sitting there for years and years in prison, and they just say, oh, we could get unlimited delays and we'll just keep you in here forever unless you take our BS plea.
Yeah.
Right? That
I know
is
somebody
crazy.
in jail right now, actually, that's been, by the time he's going to even see trial, it's going to be 1.5 years in jail.
Yeah, that is insanity. And according to our Constitution, that's not supposed to be a thing. That is a bedrock, like one of the most fundamental constitutional rights that you have. So we need to take that and say, okay, right to a speedy trial. And if they do not give you right to a speedy trial, you get out, period, right? Case is dropped. There has to be some kind of penalties for these officials who just violate this stuff nonstop, right?
Exactly.
Our constitutional rights have to actually mean something, because if they don't, then we don't actually live in the United States like we think we do. This is not America. If the Constitution isn't existing, our constitutional rights aren't existing, then we don't live actually in America like we think we do. And we want to get back to that. So that's criminal justice. We talk about the DC thing, right? I made that graphic where I have the DC out in the water, and then how it's franchising its jurisdiction out to the circuit courts in the individual states. So we just talk about the giant racket the criminal justice system is, how it's the opposite of justice in almost every case.